Hello and welcome to our very first newsletter for 2025. Firstly, I'd like to welcome all our new families to our vibrant community at Santa Sophia Catholic College. As we enter our 8th year as a college, I understand how important effective communication with parents is. In fact, effective communication is the key to having a successful relationship and partnership with parents. Now, because parents are generally time poor, the idea of having a hard copy newsletter did not appeal to me. And so we came up with this concept of an electronic video newsletter because I figure that parents are more readily able to take out their phones and watch the newsletter on camera while their kids are at sport practice, on the metro home from work, or even during their lunch breaks at work. So this is how we do the newsletter at Santa Sophia. So to all our new parents, welcome. This morning, I've got some very important guests which I'd like to introduce to our community. Our brand new school counsellors. Jess, welcome.
Thank you, Mark.
Paul, welcome.
Greetings.
Juliet, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, folks, I want you to get to know the counsellors just a little bit more because these counsellors will be working with your children right through the college from K to Year 12. So let's start with you first, Paul. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thanks, Mark. I've been a counsellor for 31 years. I'm very excited to be joining the Santa Sophia community because whilst I've worked as a counsellor for 20 years in a high school and 11 years in a primary school, I've never worked in a K to 12 school. So I'm looking forward to the opportunities that provides and getting to know people at the school. Whilst I'm the contact person for the 9 to 12 school, we work collaboratively across K to 12.
Good, yeah. Thank you, Paul. Jess, what about you?
Thank you, Mark. It's so great to be here. So I'm the contact for 5 to 8, the School of Connect. I have been a school counsellor in this diocese for a few years now and have been at secondary schools. So like Paul, I'm very excited to be at a K to 12 school. My background is I've done a lot of family work, so working with vulnerable children and their families. And I want you to know that we don't just work in isolation with the students. We really believe that the best outcomes come from working collaboratively with the school and also with parents and families. So we're really looking forward to meeting all the kids. We've met so many of them now and they're such beautiful kids and we're really excited to be here and get going.
Yeah, thank you, Jess. Well done.
Beautiful.
And Juliet.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I've just started this year and prior to this I was working in the Sydney Catholic Schools Diocese. So I'm really excited to be part of the Santa Sophia community. I have been a school counsellor for a few years and prior to that, similar to Jess, I was working with families and vulnerable children. So it's been one of my favourite roles and I'm really excited to continue that in this beautiful new school of ours. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you and welcome.
Thanks, Mark.
This morning, I have the distinct pleasure of speaking with our leader of learner analytics and student growth, Tim Adams. Tim, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tim, we're going to talk about NAPLAN this morning. Okay, and I guess those parents who have been with our community for some time now know my views on NAPLAN. I believe NAPLAN is a snapshot in time of a student's literacy and numeracy abilities. I feel that the NAPLAN data, when supported by other data sets such as PAT-R, PAT Reading, and PAT Maths, and PAT E-Write, gives you a better understanding of the student's holistic numeracy and literacy abilities. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah. So NAPLAN is just one piece of that pie.
Correct, yeah. So Tim, tell us about the plans for NAPLAN.
Yeah, so NAPLAN, we have our testing window, which goes for 9 school days starting from March 12th, which is in week 6, going till the 24th, which is a Monday. And across those days, we need to test all students in year 3, year 5, year 7, and year 9 across the literacy and numeracy, starting with writing, then reading, then conventions of language, which is spelling, punctuation, grammar, followed by numeracy. So we have to do a lot of tests. But of course, it's natural that some students might be sick or away for whatever reason. So we encourage parents to have them ready on the days where we do a catch-up test. So hopefully by the time you're watching this video, you will have received our formal letter from the school with a timetable, and there'll be clear dates of when we're running those catch-up tests too.
And I suppose as a parent, I'm sitting there thinking, wow, how can parents support their children in preparing for NAPLAN?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a tough struggle because it's like, yeah, NAPLAN's important, but we don't want to put too much stress on them nailing it or putting so much work into it.
Correct.
Because we want it to be a natural reflection of their achievement and their literacy and numeracy skills. So what Aarya, who developed NAPLAN, their recommendations for parents supporting their children, the first one would be to talk to them about it and encourage them, let them know what's happening, say this is what the test is, and to just try their best. We want to try and minimize the stress we're placing on those children because for a lot of them, they're in year 5, year 7, even year 3, tests can be a bit scary. So we want them to be performing at their best. There's also lots of resources online provided for NAPLAN, including the public demonstration site. So parents can go with their child and jump on that website. All they have to do, Google is NAPLAN public demonstration site, and they can see what NAPLAN looks like because that helps the students become a bit more familiar with how to navigate, how to answer certain types of questions.
So NAPLAN public demonstration site.
That's correct, yes.
There you go, parents, over to you. Okay, we're doing our bit to prepare the students for NAPLAN at school, but you can support them by visiting that website.
That's right.
NAPLAN public demonstration site.
And sorry, just one more thing to add.
Yep.
A very important reminder. Can we please encourage all our students and your children to come to school with their laptop fully charged for years 5, 7, and 9, have pens, and very importantly, bring some earphones because there are questions and tests where they need to listen to some words and spell them. So without the earphones, unfortunately, they won't be able to answer that question.
There you go, parents. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. This morning, I have the pleasure of speaking with our school captains, Aarya Mittal and Lachlan Hollier. Aarya and Lachlan, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure to be here.
Now, thank you. Congratulations on your appointment as school captains. What do you hope to achieve during your tenure as school captain?
I think being a school captain, it's a very prestigious role, and obviously there's quite a bit of pressure and people looking up to you. And personally, I just want to achieve leaving a great legacy at this school and making people remember what our year group as a whole, not just me and Aarya, did.
Yeah, fantastic.
I think that both of us, we came into this leadership role along with the rest of our leadership team, wanting a lasting legacy of our grade to be left at this school, and I think that's really important for both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think that I want the Santa Sofia community to become closer to each other and help each other, support each other. And I feel like through initiatives that we lead and bring up to the school, we can make this happen.
Well done. Oh, those are great answers, folks. This is why they're school captains. Now, being a school captain has lots of responsibilities and lots of events to attend. How are you planning to manage the responsibilities of being a school captain with your schoolwork?
Yeah, well, even we were just talking before about part-time jobs. I think balancing that school and work before, even before coming into a school captain, it teaches you to kind of balance those equally, and sometimes you have to put work before school or school before work, and it just depends on the timing of things. But the leadership role, it depends, time of the year. I know that we're busy with exams sometimes and we can't attend certain things, and I think it's just really about knowing in yourself your own capabilities and your own judgment of things, and determining whether you can go to events and whether you can help out in these certain days. And it's just all up to your own judgment of things.
Absolutely. I think that it's about staying on top of your tasks as soon as you get them, and having yourself well organized, because if you don't have yourself well organized, there's always going to be things that overlap, and you just need to be ahead of everything so that you don't fall behind.
Well done. Well done. Good, really good answers. And finally, my final question to you is, what piece of advice would you give to a young aspiring leader?
Enjoy school while you can before it gets on top of you, and every weekend doing schoolwork. Enjoy that time, but also look for opportunities to grow and do good. Like, I know that in our leadership team here at Santa Sophia, we have a lot of younger kids in like anywhere from year 1 to year 5. I know that there's a lot of great aspiring leaders who look up to us as year 12 leaders.
Yep.
And like being in the leadership meetings with them and seeing the initiatives that not even just the year 12s do, but even year 11 and year 10 get up to every week, like it inspires them to do great. And I hope that in the future they can one day be school captains as well and continue on their own legacy.
Yeah. One piece of advice that I would give is to enjoy your time at school, treasure your moments with your friends, and don't get too caught up in school, because although school is about the academic side of learning, it's also about finding new experiences that help you grow. It's about, finding a good social circle that'll help you support you later on in life, and taking these experiences to help you grow outside of school as well. So make sure you treasure that.
Aarya and Lachlan, well done.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This morning, I'm having a conversation with our leader of Formation and Mission, Dr. Chris Hayman. Chris, welcome.
Hi, Mark.
Chris, I want to talk to you about a very important period in the church's liturgical calendar, Lent. And as we know, Lent begins on the 5th of March with Ash Wednesday. What is Lent?
So Lent is a really important time in the liturgical calendar for the Catholic faith, and it's fundamentally a time of preparation for the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, which is at the end of Lent, and then we have the resurrections on Easter. And so this is a special time that the church invites us to really focus on our interior life. And so there's a number of ways that the church encourages us to do that.
So, Chris, as a school community, how can we all participate in this period of Lent?
So we sent out a communication, Mark, for Lent and some of the initiatives that are taking place. And on that, we follow what the church says is a good encouragement for this time. That is to focus on almsgiving, focusing on charity, fasting. And so we've got some arrangements with the canteen to not sell meat on Fridays so that we can all have an awareness of this time of Lent, and also prayer. So we've got a few extra initiatives that are running in the chapel during recess and lunch that are in that letter, and also our before school mass is every Friday morning at 7:45, which all parents, teachers and students are invited to. On Shrove Tuesday, which is the day before Lent, we have, before Lent begins, we have our pancakes that we sell, and that is the launch of our Project Compassion fundraising for this year. And so if all parents can ensure that they can put in their orders via the QKR app, and we can get that money and that assistance to those that need it most.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Mark.